Hello everyone, welcome back to Bubbles Aviation, and today we have our third update and first update in a very long time of St. Branon International Airport. We have a lot to cover today. There's been a lot of major changes since the past year has gone by, so I'll cover those as we go on, so let's just start. So I forgot to mention that this update is around 9:30 p.m. Most overnighting regional flights have landed and are just overnighting here, and our final transatlantic flights are heading out. So we're going to start with this Delta 767-300ER, which is taxiing out for the flight to Amsterdam, which is supposed to be, but has been delayed, the service to be taken over by KLM's A330-200. For our only airplane here at hard stands, we have this JetBlue A320 in the barcode tail, completing its last offloading procedures after arriving in from the last daily flight from Boston, and will be heading out on the first daily flight out to New York JFK tomorrow morning. We have 4 daily New York JFK flights. The first and the last flight are operated on the A320s, and the 2 in between are generally operated on A321s. So this next airplane is this Caribbean Airlines ATR-72 in the old livery. I have no idea what livery this airplane currently is in. All I know is that this was released by JC Wings probably 3 or 4 years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and they just re-released it. So that doesn't really make sense. JC Wings does a lot of kind of random releases, in my opinion. I mean, I do collect narrow bodies from North America, so I'm kind of biased towards that region, but I do kind of pay attention to a lot of their releases. I just don't really do reactions on gear or anything like that. So if you do want to see me kind of more, I post more there, is the Model Airliner forum. So if you want to contact about a collab or just any other question, just feel free to just see me at Model Airliner forum. So this is probably where the most has changed, and it's changed in a good and bad way. So we have this Delta 717 and this Delta CRJ-900. The CRJ-900 is a SkyWest release. I know I've mentioned this, and you would probably not see it here. If Delta ever opened a hub in the Caribbean and they operated their RJs, they might open like a new regional airline, probably under Endeavor or something, like Shuttle America, if you know what that is. But the 717 will be heading out to St. Martin, which is one of the bigger inter-island services. Tomorrow morning, we'll head out to St. Martin. The CRJ-900 just arrived in from Antigua, which is one of the smaller ones, but I will mention more about the expansion and the de-expansion with these next 2 planes. So the next 2 planes are these this pair of ERJs. So the one in the foreground is this ERJ-170. I've had this E-170 in one update before, the DCA update 1. I'll try to do another DCA update soon. However, it's all kind of the same relatively. So actually here, airplane going out of DCA right now. But it's all kind of the same traffic. It won't really change, so I might do one of those if there's a new route, which probably will not happen for another 5 or 10 years. But so this Delta E-170 just arrived in from Orlando, which is from the Focus City in Orlando kind of thing. And then the E-175 in the background, which is a custom by me. I think it turned out pretty good. I still got to work on those winglets, but I wanted them to be the other kind of winglets. I painted the model myself pretty much. Anyways, that E-175 just arrived in from Raleigh-Durham, which is part of the new Delta Connection expansion. So in around April of last year, 2025, they shut down their really island hopper connections for about 6 months, and then in, I guess, October, they kind of reopened, started slow, but they've slowly began to surpass their levels that they were in late 2024. with their just inter-island service here. So that's pretty big news, and the ERJ-175s and the E170s are going to be getting a lot of flights in here, and I will probably have to purchase one of the E175s. Sorry, that might have been pretty boring, just that part. But anyways, this is the thumbnail of the video, actually, and I decided it would just be good to include most of the narrow bodies at the terminal. I'll just do it in one shot. But that probably 2-minute talking about the ERJs, that's pretty important if you want to know about like the future of what this airport will look like in a couple of months in terms of the updates. But anyways, let's start with the top. We have the American 737-800. American, I think they kind of looking forward to expanding, but there's really no space to expand. The terminal is almost always filled in the winter. The summer months aren't too busy. I'll just generally flip the board over and just have Ironwood. It gets kind of the complete opposite levels of travel. Anyways, American 737 arrived in from Miami. We'll be heading back out there. The Delta 737-800, which is also a custom, arrived in from Atlanta, and we'll be heading back out there tomorrow morning. And the Delta A319 arrived in from New York, John F. Kennedy, and we'll be heading out to Atlanta tonight. So those are most of the mainline here. Nothing really has changed significantly. Two of these three, the Deltas, are new models. Yeah, I will do maybe a shout out for the person who got me the A319. But yeah, it'll probably be up on the screen now. And second to last, we have this Flair 737 MAX 8 pushing back for Toronto, Canada. And finally, wrapping things up, we have this United 757-200 in the old livery. I do have an antenna missing. I do have the antenna, I just need to glue it in. So if you notice that, it's just the reason. This airplane was heavily delayed tonight and is scheduled to head out to Newark in about 2 hours, but it was supposed to head out about 6 hours ago, but it had a maintenance issue coming in from Newark, and so yeah, it's been delayed about 6 hours, which is a lot, and a lot of passengers were just able to get on the pretty much empty MAX 9 flight earlier. Thank you so much for watching. We're almost to 250, halfway to 500, pretty much, but I know I don't post a lot anymore. I haven't really had time to edit, or just I've kind of had a lack of motivation to keep posting. I have a bunch of videos that I could post, a bunch of trip reports. If you're really interested, just let me know, and I can make sure to do them for you. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.